So I know, you know, past few weeks or months have been emotionally jarring and overwhelming for people after, you know, events, show, soul-shaking events that have really put a lot of stress and fear, whether it was, unfortunate incidents that led to a lot of people dying or people taking, each other's lives. And at this time, it's easy to have a lot of questions, does God, higher power, universe, whatever you believe in, does it even exist? Why would God put, innocent souls through something like this? And just questions that have no logical answer. And to that, I just want to share that I've personally battled with these questions for some time now. And universe doesn't really, it's not God doing all of this. I mean, we can easily equate, bad things happening to, that maybe it's something karmic or, you know, just maybe they did something wrong and God is punishing them. All of these things that are not really true. God doesn't always, it responsible for these things. And we often forget that there is so many things that are like, not the universe's plan. We forget about things like free will, which exist. We all have free will. And we forget about the darkness and ignorance and cruelty that resides on earth. And the universe is not always responsible for things that are happening because there are people who use their free will for things that won't necessarily be right. I mean, we see a lot of injustices taking place, and we often think, like why would universe do this, and how can universe let this happen? But we forget that people have free will. Universe is not making people do things like puppets. But when you look closely, there are moments where universe comes through in helping people, in protecting people. But on earth, free will exists, and how you make use of it, that depends on person to person. So yeah, so just some basic things that we need to know about life is that kindness is not always going to assure that it's going to shield you from cruelty. We often say that why do bad things happen to good people? Being a good person doesn't, you know, guarantee you a painless life, a perfect life. It's a choice you're making. Despite the circumstances, the cards you've dealt with, whatever is happening in your environment and everything. At the end of the day, it's a choice. Again, free will. So, yeah, we need to keep in mind that the terrible things that are happening, we cannot blame everything on the universe. Because at the end of the day, we need to take accountability too, how far we've come as a society, as a civilization. How are these things even prevalent? And it's not always like, how can universe let this happen? How are we letting this happen? How are we not conscious enough to know that these things shouldn't be happening? And although we cannot, control people or, you know, whatever. But we can take accountability as an individual, as a group, as a tribe, a society. We can take personal accountability and we can make sure that we are not contributing to it in a way and we're not letting it happen in our environment. Because if something bad is happening and you're watching but you're silent, that means you are perpetuating the cycle. You're also responsible for it. You're also a culprit. So use your free will, but in a good way. So, yeah, good luck. Namaste.